Hello, welcome to another Niche Marketing Mastery interview. I'm your host, Carlos Redlich. My next guest today is a copywriter, martial arts trainer, and a serial entrepreneur. He's been writing copy for the last 9 years, but primarily for himself, for his local martial arts business, to get clients through the door, to feed his family and put money in the bank. Since then, he's recently decided to take these new superpowers and has been using them for the good and prosperity of others in their marketing, and has been doing so for at least just the last 6 months, while maintaining his other business interests. It's with great pleasure to introduce you to a very prolific, energetic marketer that has a wonderful first name, Mr. Carlos Redlich. Carlos, thank you for being on the call with me.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. This is an awesome opportunity, dude. Thank you.
Right on, right on. So if you don't mind, maybe just in case I missed anything there, was there something that I missed that you wanted to include in who you are and what you do?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. I've been writing copy for the last 9 years, but I kind of just started my martial arts instructor. I'm a martial artist for the last 15 years. My martial arts instructor kind of introduced me to it, and then I launched a little website business selling through direct mail. I was selling to acupuncturists and basically doing that. Started my own gym, and now I kind of actually just sold off my last part of the gym to my business partner because. Yeah, I've been writing copy for the last 6 months, and it's literally just blown up. So I'm just going to focus on that.
What sort of martial arts did you practice?
Well, I've been training in Jeet Kune Do, Filipino Kali, and Muay Thai. But our school in Jacksonville, Florida, is primarily focused on Muay Thai and submission wrestling. So that's my little plug for my business partner. You can go check him out. Jacksonville Martial Arts.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, I did jiu-jitsu myself for like 7 years, primarily with one of the students, Hickson Gracie, and in Hawaii and stuff like that. But we're off to common ground here already. I like you more and more.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. You got a killer name.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny? Your last name is the first name of my mom. My name is Carlos. My mom's name is Rosario.
Right on.
But it was fucking destined to be on this call. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right on. All right. So tell me, who did you learn? Did you just jump into copy? Like when you started writing for your business, was it something that was happenstance, or did you when did you take it seriously and decide, you know what, I need leads, I need to get this thing going and growing. And I'm gonna take this thing serious. Or did you?
It's kind of funny. It took me probably a while to get good at this. I have an obsessive personality, and fortunately, when I got into, are you guys still there? I had a text come through, and I don't know if that fucked anything up.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Oh no.
So I had an obsessive personality. So when I learned copy in the beginning, I was like 20 years old when I first started learning copy. And it's because my martial art instructor pushed me to basically learn that so I could start teaching and basically selling from the floor. Because when you teach martial arts, you can't just give content. You have to give content and sell them on the next class, on the next day, not just the next month. So, I mean, I learned copy just by teaching martial arts and selling face-to-face through that, but also through writing. And just kind of going through this process of just writing a bunch of copy, I started my own company, selling websites. It wasn't really I didn't even incorporate it. I didn't know anything about taxes, so hopefully I don't get fucked up. But, hey, fuck it, right? Whatever. This is a long time ago, kind of. So what I did though is I developed some confidence writing copy, and I was fortunate enough to scrape up a couple bucks. And I was like, you know what? I bet you I could fucking sell some websites, because I had a buddy who I went to school with who, he would do websites for like a beer or something. It's funny.
Right.
So I just went ahead and I knew acupuncturists personally, so I was like, you know what? Why don't I just go? I know the market somewhat. I at least know what they're turned off by, what they're turned on by. So at 23, I basically ordered a compiled list of acupuncturists in all over the United States.
From where? Where'd you get it from?
Here's what's funny. I went to back then. I don't know. Now I basically started doing direct mail through Sales Genie, but I forget who I did. This was years ago. But it was online. It was probably Info USA or something, just because I was into Dan Kennedy, and I remember hearing infousa.com, and that's probably where I got my list. But I can't say.
Right on. Just on that note, just to add value here on the call for whoever is listening. The Info USA, there's a sister site for that was created by. I'm not sure if you're aware of it or whoever's listening. Just if you have a library card, you can go to Reference USA. And as long as you're signed up with your local library, you can use their database, which is essentially their free light version, I think, of like Info USA. So there's a little helpful tidbit.
Oh, that's...
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's really killer info. That's really killer info. I didn't know that second part. That's good. I just wrote that down. So you were dude. I'm sorry. So basically, I ended up kind of cutting that story a little short because I don't want to go too deep into it, I guess. But I ended up targeting only acupuncturists in Alaska just because I didn't have so much results targeting, everybody in the United States. That didn't work so well. So I targeted acupuncturists in Alaska, sent them this, I think it was like 4-page direct mail letter, and I got them to pay me $1,500 for a website, and all I did was drive them to a phone call, closed them, and got my buddy to make the website. So that's kind of when I first started getting my own taste of, what copy can really do. And I just kind of started doing it for myself. And then I launched with my 2 years later, what was it, 23, 24, 25? Yeah, about 2 years later, I launched a gym in Jacksonville. We built, my business partner and I, we built that one. It was an MMA gym. We taught a little bit more than what we do. Or I should say I don't teach. I'm still referring like I own this gym. I don't own this gym anymore. I should take credit for it. But
no, it's good. Ownership is key to like getting into the mindset, though. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I owned it up until like 2 weeks ago, and then I was like, fuck it, copywriting is really kicking ass. I'm going to move to Colorado and just move every 6 months because I just want to travel the world, and now I can. So fuck it.
That's awesome. I know a few people that actually live there. I don't know if anybody listens to this call. I have a buddy, Rob Jones. He was just out here for like a month or two. He's got a story to half. But anyway, like the dude is right now, I think he's in Bali or Thailand or something. He just moves every month somewhere new. That's what he's been doing for the last, I don't know, like 6 months or something like that. I think it's amazing, awesome. But it's because he's, this whole, I call him the digital nomad. He hates it, but screw it. So
I love it.
If I may, just take a step back and ask you a bit, just, because what is sort of the hardship with starting a real local business? Did you start it like underground, like garage style, or did you got to?
The local. Yeah, the pain of that shit is you actually have rent. You got like real. You don't just pay hosting. I mean, it's fucking like our first gym was $10,000 a month after you paid electricity and everything. And then right when we started fucking breaking even, because we literally, it's a funny story. There's a guy who owned this gym before. He had 1 or 2 students, but he was a multi-millionaire guy. He had like, I forget what his company was. I don't know. Anyway, fuck that guy. But he was an asshole because he took that gym from, I think, 2 students or whatever it was. Within 10 months, we went in there, started selling. We started not only sending postcards, letters to literally everybody in the area. We were just hustling. It was just old school hustling because we had such high overhead that we were like, fuck, we need to make at least $100,000 a year just to cover our expenses. That's crazy. We don't even get to eat then. So within 10 months, we built it it was actually around $11,000, but we basically just covered expenses. But this guy had never seen such growth, the original owner, because we were just business partners with him, right? He'd never seen this growth. We were supposed to have huge profit share because we were about to double that because we had a whole referral thing. We had basically an army of students that were going to die for us. So, it was a big thing. So once you get to about 80 people, at least in a martial arts school, from our experience or my experience, it starts becoming a little bit more organic, and you can start counting on people bringing 2 or 3 friends a week, and it just starts to double.
It's got its own little buzz going. But how did you, just on that, if you don't mind, like how did you get the 80 folks? Like how did you find what did you guys do to kind of garner were you doing everything?
The first thing I did, the first thing I did, because I didn't have anything. I lived in an apartment. My rent my rent was like $400, and I was making $400. I didn't have anything. So I was a food stand, and stealing food when Dixie just so I could eat, because I was like, fuck, food stamps only gave me $200 a month, and I was like, I definitely eat more than that. So it was a horrible, but it was a good experience. You know, it made me actually appreciate shit.
Yeah, for sure. Resourcefulness. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so I didn't know anything. I lost like 30 pounds, so I looked like I was in really good shape, but I was just fucking hungry. So I was like, well, let's use this to my advantage. I live in Jacksonville, and there's a beach. It's right, Jacksonville Beach, relatively close to where our gym was. So I just went down to the beach, took off my shirt, started working out and talking to every single person that came by, guy, woman, couple, old fan. Every single person that I came in contact with got a flyer, and I got their number so I could text them and contact them to get them into the gym. So once I started getting about 20, 30 students, then we were like, fuck, let's get some flyers. That's like $200 for 10,000 or something. It wasn't that much. I forget where we went. What is it? It slips my mind. But, we just got that. Then I started mailing we just kind of grew it, but it was all like grinding, like it was real.
That's an important point that I always talk to you about, especially with people that I coach and that that I do strategy sessions with. It's important to note that, you figured it out early on. I think when you're hungry, you're resourceful, right? You're not relying on one sort of pocket to make it happen. You went out there, you grinded, you hustled, you gave out your card, you shook hands and, kissed babies and stuff, and then you just went ahead and tried some other stuff, right? You just got prolific. You just put it all out there, and, that sort of,
that's right.
You never knew.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. No, they're just basically reinforcing that. So I guess for callers, listeners to the call, it's important to note, just like Carlos, because I did the same thing. When I was just getting started, I didn't know who or how to get clients. I was just doing everything and anything I could to think of that to go and get, because I was like, just hungry and grinding. But that's awesome. That's an amazing ramp up. So basically, how long do you suppose it took you to get those initial, 30 people or so?
Our first 30 people came within a month and a half because we were grinding. So I was literally walking, taking a bus, or my broken-ass car was going to the beach every single day because that's where all the hot people were. And so all the hot people had to work out. And so I was like, well, fuck it. Let's all go to my gym, Why are you going to go somewhere else? Come to mine. So I just gave everybody a free week. And I was like, hey, it's the standard free week I would give to anybody. But I was like, hey, man, just because we met out here randomly on the beach, why don't you and your girlfriend come try out my gym? Just opened up, man. I'll give you a free week on me. If you hate us, no worries, no hard feelings. At least you get a cool kick-ass session. Does that sound good to you?
Right on, right.
Yeah, it's like I've said it a million times, you know what I mean?
How many of those people do you suppose, I don't know, because I know when I was started, I wasn't looking at conversion rate. I was just reaching out. How many?
Yeah.
Did you get a feel for how many people?
I feel, in my mind, I know this is I know it's not true, but I feel like everybody closed because every single person I would talk to, it's the same energy I have now. It's the same energy I have now. I would have with every single person. I learned pickup because I needed to figure out how to talk to women, and from that I learned, I was like, fuck, I got to learn how to pay attention to women. I can't just talk to them dull and shit. I have to have passion. It's like a missing ingredient in life. So I think once I started doing that to every single person I spoke with, in my mind, I felt like I had all their numbers. I was texting them almost every day anyway, hey, we're going to have a big gym cookout. Why don't you come? It's free. Bring your family. No worries, no paying, nothing. And I would just get my food stamps and go buy a bunch of cheeseburgers and and bring everybody, So I think in my mind, I felt like everybody signed up because I made sure they were my friends before I tried selling them.
Right.
And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my copywriting thing now, actually. That's kind of how I'm getting clients. But that's a side story.
Right. Yeah, no, so as far as, that sounds like accelerated rapport because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And when you started, once you ramped up the business to 80, not now, to kind of fast forward just a little bit, you then noticed that, because I think I cut you off with the initial story, with the partner that you had. So how, in brief, without belaboring it, so that we don't get I know I can tell that we can get divergent because I like your energy already, and I know that you have a million of these passion stories. The actual 80, getting 80, built its own momentum, and then something happened. I'm sorry. Some usually, in my experience, something precipitates on either a breakup or a divergent. Partners take separate paths, sort of thing. Did something like that happen, or was the
Oh, well, yeah. So with our first gym, that's kind of okay. So here's what happened. We built the gym up to, I think it was 115, 120 people, something like that. But it was just under 11 grand. So whatever it was, we were making. This is the first time that location had ever seen, paying rent. Because remember, they paid 10 grand a month. It was fucking retarded. So, and it's crazy. And whatchamacallit, so basically this owner, the original, because we were 50-50 partners in it, or at least my, whatever, the agreement was.
Right.
And anyway, so we had, apparently, there was a weird agreement. I don't know if I didn't sign it, but I don't know if my other business partner signed something that said, I think a certain amount of students, if you don't get it by, December 25th, like Christmas, you're no longer a part of the school. Or part of this shit ends. And so that's basically the loophole this guy did. Right, December 23rd, it was like a 2 days or 3 day, maybe December 22nd, he basically called us up and said, we're no longer going to need your services and shit. And we were like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Because it was like, we had an agreement, it was our gym, but I guess he still had that final say, and it was a stupid fucking agreement we signed. So if you ever sign a fucking agreement, read it. But it was a lesson learned, but we were basically out on our ass, and I was like, fuck, so I can't tell my family this happened, so I just lied. No one knew. I never told anybody. Everybody's like, oh, so how's it? Because my family lives in Miami. I went to Jacksonville to just do all this shit. So it's about 6 hours away, and I just went back for Christmas. I was planning on buying people gifts and shit. I was like, I'm not buying anybody anything. You're all getting a hug and put a bow on my head and smile. And, yeah, exactly. I was like, come on, man, I drove here. So basically that's what happened. It ended there, and then my original business partner, because there was 3 of us in that original gym, the person who owned the location, who was failing, and who reached out to us and was like, hey, do you guys want to do this? And then gave us a partnership in the gym. And then after that failed, after we got fucked in that deal, we literally, I think it was within 6 weeks. It was under 2 months for sure. We had 15 grand that we had borrowed from a buddy who wanted to be a silent investor, and we found a location that was like $2 grand a month, so it was a lot cheaper. And basically, I sent a big-ass email. Thank God for email marketing and Facebook marketing. I just sent a big-ass email to all the students telling them what just happened, because I know they love me, and I know about 80 of them quit. So I was like, oh, shit, fuck these other guys. So they basically are now out of business. So that's a great, success story. Years later, the guy who fucked us is now out of business. So that's great.
Right.
That's how it happens. Good guys won. But then we just built up our own gym, and it was a lot better because it was just me and my buddy, and I've never had an issue with him. To this day, I don't have an issue with him. And that gym is still growing. I think we're nearing like 80 students in that gym. It's not there yet. It's almost there. And I think he's getting another location in Miami now that he's partnered up with. So things are going well. It's just, for me, I just really have had such short-term success with this copywriting thing. It's the fastest success I've ever had, and I'm assuming it's because, what my shit writes works. So I've, and so I've just kind of, if I'm able to make more money doing this in such a short amount of time, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to sell off what's holding me in one location, which is going to a gym, teaching a class Tuesday and Thursdays, and, it's just a personal decision. I kind of feel like I'm 28, I'm almost 29, I could probably live around the world for a few years, and fuck it, let's do it, So right on.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's so okay. So let's talk a little bit about the copy now. So it's been about 6 months, and do you still work just with acupuncturists, or have you diversified a bit?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't worked with acupuncturists in a while. It's funny, actually. One of he's not a client yet. He's a potential one, hopefully. But we And he actually used to be a competitor of mine, but I never looked at his competition, but he was in the same market as I was, I guess, or in the same space, and he sells acupuncture. He's a real businessman for this, so I was kind of like living at home when I first started this, just before I started it, and I was like, let me just do this, So it was kind of one-time shots, and I just had some success, and I was like, this is awesome, but I was a dummy. I didn't know business. This guy's a real businessman. But no, he maybe I'll do some acupuncture work in the future with copy with him, but I haven't done anything with them lately. What I've been doing now is really doing a lot of stuff in for some reason, health. And I haven't even been marketing myself really as a gym owner. I've tried not to necessarily, but it's funny. I've been writing a lot for the health, alternative health space, and just selling marketing services. Like, people wholesale my copy, I guess, now. And I don't really know. It's just working. I just I don't know what they're doing. They just agreed to wholesale my copy, white label my copy. That's what it's called.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, I know you put something up on YouTube related to cold calling. Has that been another sort of thing that you either teach and or use to get clients?
Well, okay. So that's actually kind of funny. With the cold calling, I guess we did kind of miss out a business. I have another business partner, Mike, and he has a marketing company where he does websites and everything. And I mean, I did the website thing, the acupuncturist, when I was like 23 and, like 22, 23. And I was that was kind of a one-time thing. And I had another buddy who was going to do it for like beer, so it was a different relationship.
Right.
But my buddy Mike really does this. And, I kind of started this partnership with him while I'm in the second gym and while I, was kind of dabbling into thinking I was going to write copy for other people. And before we did any of that, though, we basically just started cold calling million-dollar companies, and we got this list. I can give you guys this info. We got this list from salesgenie.com, I think. And we get it for free. You get 150 leads for free just to try out. And you can actually segment if you want people who, make $1 million in their company and do not have a website. So that was huge for us because we're like, well, that's exactly what I'm looking for, And we have like 3 employees or 5 employees, so I'm like, I have a higher chance of actually reaching the person maybe. So I'm like, this is like great customer, and this is all free. Like, I don't think I've ever paid for a list from Sales Genie just because I think Mike just keeps making fake emails and just getting for free. We don't need to. It's funny, but I think he's just so honest. Like, it's free, and you get 150. You're gonna make money off every one. I'm like, whatever, dude. But so we basically, instead of doing direct mail, we just figured we would start cold calling people, and that kind of came from an inspiration of Grant Cardone. And we just kind of got into Grant Cardone, within the past couple of years, and I just kind of got turned. I was like, I've always been into sales. I had a face-to-face sales job when I first got to Jacksonville and started that first gym. I had a face-to-face job selling knives and women products and everything. Like, it was really warm. So I learned sales that way too. But so I was like, maybe
there's no better substitute for that. There's no better substitute for selling than face-to-face. So if you got that down, everything else is just cake, I think.
No way. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I had to sell like fingernail polish to men. And I was basically, like, if I had to knock on a door and a man would answer, I'd be like, hey, listen, I'd step back. I had such funny strategies. I would step back and look at the roses or something that they would have outside their door, because then it would diffuse them when they're looking through the eye. They're like, what is this guy, And I kind of looked scary from what people told me, so I guess I look ugly. I'm like, you fuckers, but okay. So I had to make it extra diffusing.
I would lift up the beard, Carlos, because people.
I was growing it. Yeah, I was growing it, and I was really skinny because I was hungry. So I probably looked weird and stuff with a big head. So I looked like an alien with a beard. And I would just look down at the roses, and as soon as they answer, I would be like, I would just kind of like not hear them type of thing. I'd be like, excuse me. I'd be like, oh, hey, man, how are you? I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm sure you're here with your wife or your girlfriend or something. Listen, I've only got like 2 minutes. I really don't want to, again, I don't want to bother you, dude, but I've got this fingernail polish that we're giving away as a special promotion. I just gave it to your neighbor down the street. Do you think you might want to just get this for your girlfriend or aunt or mother or so? And I would just list out different people. And I would do that.
To a girl in your life.
And I would sometimes have to diffuse them because they'll be like, who the fuck is this guy trying to give me nail polish? And I'd be like, listen, I know this isn't for you. It's definitely not for me. And I would throw in like, oh, no, don't worry. I got this for my girlfriend. She loves it. So they don't think I'm hitting on them either and whatever. And it's funny because you have to learn. When I had to sell fingernail polish to men, I was like, I had to learn how to diffuse like, I do this in Jacksonville where there's like rednecks, and I'm a little like 5'9", like kind of Hispanic dude, and I've always grown up scared of rednecks. I'm like, they're like big crack redneck, no offense, but they scared the shit out of me. So I saw them and I was like, oh fuck, so it was a big lesson to me. I'm like, I got to learn how to diffuse these big like cornfed guys, or they're gonna beat me up. I'm selling fucking milk. That's in your country or some shit. Fuck. you know?
Right. Right. So, so sales skills is definitely in your, in your utility belt. That's awesome. Yeah. That's amazing.
How to avoid getting beat up. How to learn sales.
that sounds like the name of your next book or something.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing. So that's funny. That's super funny. So your copy skill set now. What's kind of your forte? What do you specialize in?
It's funny. I'm trying to choose between two directions because when I say self-help, there's so many different little mini niches within self-help, I think. But I'm starting to focus more on the alternative health and the health market, and I'm also starting to focus. It's great. I guess I'm niching in two areas. Is selling my copywriting services for people who are selling websites or online marketing and stuff like that. Just because I've done it so much over the phone, I literally know. I've been on both ends. People selling to me as a gym owner, and me selling to them face to face, nose to nose, toes to toes, and that shit is right. I know that market. Probably better than a lot of people, just because I've experienced the pain.
What I meant was, because you already said the alternative health. I'm sorry, but I meant, do you focus on a type of copy, or do you kind of cross with video sales letters, long form copy?
Oh, okay. No, I haven't focused in on any one of them. I would say my strengths are probably email copy and short sales letters, like lead generation letters. The only reason I'd say that is that that's just what clients have been booking me for primarily. And I've been writing VSLs for clients, and I've been writing, long form sales letters. So I have no issues. I can write them. I love writing them, but I usually get the repeat business for some reason for my emails and my other sales letters. So, but that's as far as I just honked the horn for some reason on my car. I don't know what just happened. I'm outside my buddy's house because we're about to have a barbecue in an hour, and I think I just honked the horn and woke the whole neighborhood up. Look at me like, what the fuck is he doing on the phone honking the horn? I'm like, no one left. No, don't come to the car. No.
We must be versatile, and that's how we are as guerrilla style marketers, right? So we have to work with what we got. So now your plan is to just write copy and travel the road?
Yeah, it's funny because I actually had a call with a buddy of mine, Steve Roller, and he was talking about how he's been a copywriter for a while, and now he's more into building his own business and making his own offers, and I understand that, and I think probably down the line, maybe in a year, maybe in 3 years, I'll probably head in that direction. But I've been an owner of businesses, and I've dealt with, employees on a small level with, 5 employees, and I really don't like it. I really hate the whole managing of it, and it's just not my style anymore. I'm good at making money. I'm good at hustling, but I hate just I just don't like that process. So, I just don't like it. So at this point in my life, I think I'm just going to do freelance copy and maybe I have a couple retainer clients, and I think that's maybe the avenue to go with. And I don't know. So far, I'm digging this, but who knows? I mean, like I said, I've only been doing it for 6 months writing for other people. So if you ask me maybe in a year, the answer might be different.
Right.
I don't know.
It'll definitely morph for sure. But yeah, I definitely feel that too. So you can, I'm like you in that, I don't really, I'm not, I am more. We're of the same, cut from the same cloth sort of thing. I'm more of a hustler, solopreneur. I don't want to say hate, but yeah, it's a new skill set to learn how to manage other people because you have things in your brain that you would do that doesn't naturally kind of they do something. You're like, what the hell are you thinking? They're not.
And you know what? What the biggest thing is? You're right. And the biggest thing for me is, I love my businesses so much. It's my business. I love it. But it's unrealistic for me to expect someone else who's working for me to love it's my business. I never loved any of my fucking employees' business, my employers' businesses, So I think that's kind of an issue for me. And the fact that they don't love it makes me hate them, and it's just a volatile relation. I'm like, why the fuck don't you love it, even though I know you shouldn't love it because it's not yours? And it's like, I shouldn't be managing employees,
Right. So, Carlos, do you have any before this call, you teased me with a little bit of you said there was a cool trick or something like that that you'd be willing to teach folks related to how to get something using Amazon, how to leverage Amazon in some way. Do you know what I'm
I can give you. I want to deliver as much content as possible. So, I mean, here's a few things that I know off the bat are pretty damn good. Whenever you want to write copy or even create a new product for your niche market, is go into Amazon and then check out the review section. So, for example, if you have a book on fitness, like, you know, how to get a six-pack or some shit, go on Amazon, type in how to get a six-pack book, look at the book that has like 1,000 reviews, like a bunch of them, click on that, look at the reviews, and then go ahead and do two things. Look at the raving testimonials when you write your copy in the beginning, like the intro story, because many times that's exactly what your reader is going to think, and you can basically not copy and paste it, but copy and paste it and then reword it in a way that makes sense. And then another thing is look at all the hate reviews, like, this product sucks. I was really hoping for it to have more information on how to do a proper push-up. And boom, that's something you can target, because you can be like, hey, a big thing that other ab workouts don't have is they don't show you the proper push-up that really builds your abs. I'm going to show you the secret on how to do it, because that's exactly what they want. And you can just cherry pick all of the common themes, all the common objections in those hate comments, and then use those as bullets for your copy that actually give you leverage. That's exactly what they want. So that's kind of one tip. That's one little tip of hacking the system. You can really get a good, deep inside look into your prospect's mind that way.
No, that's awesome. That's super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people will be like, oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're stepping right into the mindset using the crowdsource method of the consciousness of the people that are interested in this space anyway. So these are some of the roadblocks that they face, and if nobody else is providing it, then you can come right in and fill a niche or fill a hole that you may not have even considered was a hole.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. I stumbled across really great hooks that, I mean, you wouldn't think of, and it's crazy just because of that, you know. There's two other things is one quick tip. I'm going to actually apply this. I've done it for my martial art business, but before I usually say things, I like to actually test them so that people know I'm not bullshitting it. So I'll give this advice, but within the next month, if you Google my name or YouTube me with copywriter, you'll start seeing this. But what you can do is go onto YouTube, and let's say you have 10 videos, right? So you have 10 of these calls, and you put them up on YouTube or whatever. What you can do is download all those videos, select all, change the details in it. So, you right-click and change in the property section. You can change a couple of you can just put like gibberish. I usually just put A, and then press save. And what that does is you can re-upload those same videos onto YouTube. And, I mean, some people won't like this because I guess they just won't like it. I've never been banned from YouTube, but whatever. This is just a tactic. You don't have to use it. But what I'll do is I'll upload those same videos for a particular keyword. So here's an example of what you'll see from me in a few months. Whenever you type in copywriting, my goal within the next 2 months is that the entire front page of YouTube has nothing but my videos, me talking or talking shit about copywriting. And I've done it so many times that it's not difficult to do, but nobody knows how to do it. And this is literally the secret. It's not even hard. YouTube hates the same content, so you're going to automatically get rejected if you try to re-upload it. And a lot of times people will be like, well, let me splice the video and do all this extra real hard work and all this shit, which is not needed. And all you have to do is keep those same 10 videos and just right-click, change the properties and change the details real quick, and upload the same 10. Right-click, change properties, do the details, upload another 10. And I mean, I'm going to upload about 1,000 videos a week of probably 10 or 20. Yeah, I've done it for my martial art gym. That's kind of one of the little, I think it's called arbitrage or something. I'm just like a little arbitrage method. I fucked up my local market when I was really doing it. I've kind of lost positioning probably in YouTube. But if you YouTube like Jax, JKD, or Jacksonville Mixed Martial Arts, I'm sure my videos are still there, but I've got thousands of videos that if I keep on pushing it out there, YouTube loves new content, and the fact that I'm uploading 1,000 videos a week, even if it's the same 10 videos, but just put up in, different, properties or whatever it is, it's going to rank it up, and knock everybody out, even if they've got like 1 million views on their fucking video and have 1 million comments. It doesn't matter, because I'll have 1,000 views a week, and you can't fuck with me. You can't do it unless you do what I'm doing, and hopefully you do. But I'm really good at being consistent, so I'm going to do this for like 12 months, and like I know myself, so I'll do it. So,
all right, we're going to want to check back with you in a little while to see how this is all playing out. That's awesome. All right, so
that's good.
Yeah, okay. So basically, you gave us 2 really helpful tips: the Amazon review method, the YouTube. What would you call that? The YouTube attack method. And
I actually call it the YouTube domination method. I haven't made it a product or an info product. I'm sure somebody will. If you can, just give me a cool shout out and some credit, but it doesn't matter. Fucking, I'm just using it, so I'm not trying to sell it. You know, I actually use this shit.
That's helpful, man. No, we all need. You know, the name of the group is the Parlay Society, right? Quick plug.
Right.
Anybody who wants to join, you can join on the Facebook page. Just look up Parlay Society, you can find us. But basically, the whole idea is that everybody who basically is looking for like ways to not go through, but basically circumvent, go left, go right of a particular problem without facing it head on, usually has, it's the path of least resistance. So as far as what you're doing is definitely in line, perfect for the people that are looking for ways to just kind of like just go right around like, never mind the problem. The problem is I guess Ryan Holiday said the obstacle is the way, right? So basically, whenever you find the problem, most people don't look left or right to see if there's an alternative route to the solution. So that's kind of what we're focused on, and you're doing it in a way that's definitely that I'm digging. Thumbs up all the way, man. You got one more for us?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it works really well specifically in a local market, just like any SEO type thing. It's fucking lower competition, but it works with big stuff, and I'm going to prove it with copywriting, but that'll be fun. But another thing that you can check out, this is probably just kind of a side hustle. I've just started it again. I did it before, so I know this works. I just dropped $500 on some penis pumps that I'm going to flip on eBay. And it's pretty funny. What I've done is I go to dhgate.com, and I just I'm sure a lot of people know about it. Maybe they don't. It's a wholesale website where you get a bunch of shit for cheap from China. Sometimes you have to watch what you get because it may be fake or whatever. But you just read your reviews, do your due diligence. And what I've done is I'll compare different products between DHgate and see if it's selling on eBay, and then if I can mark it up for like if I can get it for $3 and put it for $90 or something, which you can do with certain things. I can do with penis pumps, kind of. Penis pumps, and that's it's a phenomenal market. It's a phenomenal market. You can learn how to make $1 million off penis pumps. It's funny.
Oh, this is awesome.
But and then just basically, it could be as simple as what I do is just copy and paste the images from DHgate, paste them onto eBay, copy the description from DHgate, paste it onto eBay, fucking place ad or whatever the fuck it is. I don't even that's all you do, and you just put it up, and within like 2-3 hours, I have one sale at least at $90.
So you're just relying you're relying on the traffic from eBay or some other, whatever, I guess the platform's traffic.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a good manager, and I know there's so many more ways that you could that's why I love getting this info out, because I know someone's going to take it and make like real money with it. I'm just kind of
hell yeah.
But I'm kind of like the set it and forget it dude, unless it's with copy, because I've discovered copy is really my passion. Like, this is what I love to do. Like, I really do this shit, so. With this other stuff, all I do is I buy the product, because it takes about, just keeping your mind, it takes about a month, 3 to 4 weeks to get something from China to the United States at least. I don't know why, I guess that's just normal, but it does. So just kind of count on that, and then I just let that shit sit in my guest bedroom, and whenever I get an order, I just go to the post office like a mile away, drop it off, and that's it. I mean, I don't really complicate it, You don't really do. I just don't do anything. I let eBay do the selling for me. I literally copy, paste, and put up a bunch of ads, and then I just don't do anything else. I do no marketing.
This has turned into more than just a niche marketing call. You've given us a lot of good stuff to work with, and I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. Thank you so much. Carlos, if I may, I have a few quick rapid fire questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's 11:48 already.
Got it.
We should, how long would you say that it took you to quote unquote see success, and or is it something that's ebb and flowing or coming and going? You know what I mean? Or do you think you've kind of found something that would you say that you have found success, or are you still finding success?
In general, or with copywriting?
Let's say in general. Just take it how you will.
In general, I've got not in. I mean, I have a really big goal. I haven't made $1 million yet, but my goal is $100 million. It's something I've been wanting $100 million since I was like 5 years old. Since I sold like flowers around the fucking block and shit that I picked off my mom's tree. Like,
is there a why behind that? If you don't mind, what's the reason for the $100 million?
You know, it's a crazy reason. I think I started just because I wanted $100 million because I don't know why. It was a number I liked when I was young. I didn't understand it. And as I grew older, that kind of became my expectation. And when my brothers started making like $100,000 a year at their 9-to-5s, like at corporate level, but were stressed out like crazy, I'd be like, I know I can work. Like in my mind, I'm like, I have like the blood of people who work retarded hours, but we're all really not bright because we do it for like no money. So I think I'm going to try and break out of that and use the same hustle and the same blood and just put it towards shit that can make money. So right now it's copywriting, and I've been linked up with people who make like 8 figures, way more than me. And I'm like, fuck, what if I can get really great with them and do a JV with them? I mean, I'm just trying to surround myself with people who are making like so much more money than me, because that's the only way I'm going to get there, you know? I mean, copywriting right now is a passion, but copywriting stems into so much. I can do so much with copy and give so much value that, you know, it's great. But with $100 million, what I want to do, my mom's from Bolivia, and there's a lot of issues going on in Bolivia. And I know with a lot of money, I can kind of rectify a lot of shit. It's kind of funny. I kind of feel this, for some reason. My great-grandfather, he was the president of Bolivia. He's most awesomely known for losing, part of Bolivia to, Chile. So that's awesome. So I kind of want to rectify our family name, because you see, my mom's name is Galindo, and when you go to Bolivia, there's streets named after my mom, and I've kind of always wanted to go in there and take that country and really, with $100 million, I can't do it, you know, I mean, but with like $10 million, I can do some shit that I can make some dents, I think. Anyway, so that's kind of a big thing with me, and I really want to help people, as much of a cliche as that is, but I'm not like stupid that I think I can't do it with money. So I need $100 million to be able to take care of my life, my family, and my kids for the future, and then take care of a fucking country. That's the size.
Right on, man. That's you know, we're gonna put that in your intro. You know, he's the great grandson of a former president of Bolivia.
Yeah.
That's something to put. Okay, so
I'm not rich. I wish I had royalties from him, but I don't even think they know my name.
Right. Well, you know, you gotta start from somewhere, and you know, you definitely sound like you got the passion. And I don't doubt that you'll, you know, at least if you shoot for the stars, right, you might hit the moon, sort of deal.
Right.
Are you also versing? Like, I mean, it sounds like you're doing a whole bunch too. So I don't know how much time you have, but as far as reading goes, are you a big reader? Or
yeah, I'm right now. The book I'm reading is Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. He's another influence that has kind of recently impacted me. It's funny, I didn't like him when I first saw him, and I refused to watch his shows.
Why?
Well, I just didn't like the fucking "Welcome to the show," and that was the beginning of every one of the fucking episodes, and he lost me at that. And he lost me at that. And then I think I looked up internet marketing on YouTube just to see some seminars, like, you know, relatively recent, to see what people were putting out. And I stumbled across some a Gary V seminar. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I'm like, dude, this guy, I resonate. Like, I feel like I'm him, but he's like 30 years ahead of me or some shit. Like, this is the fucking man. And I feel like I related to Grant Cardone. I'm like, this is Grant Cardone, but fucking like 20 years younger. I'm like, this is fucking, I got to follow him. And then I found out he was that asshole at the show. And I was like, fuck, I hate that I love this guy so much. You know, and then I bought every book.
Go back and check out what he's been writing.
Yeah. Then I bought every book he had. I got the Thank You Economy. I'm right now reading Jab, 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 Right Hook. I've read the first page. I haven't gotten further because I just got it. But look, I'm excited.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful book for sure. Like, it's all glossy and it's huge. And yeah, I know that book. I definitely looked at it a few times at the bookstore. I haven't actually picked it up, but no, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. He's one of the awesome ones. I don't know if we covered this, but who did you study for copy? Was it Gary V as well, or who did you? No. Who did you say you got your market?
My influences primarily. I mean, what I did was my martial art instructor introduced me to copy, so I have to give him credit to even giving me the bug, or else I wouldn't have known anybody. But I kind of have three major influences because they're the people who I wrote every single one of their ads like thousands of times for like 7 years before I figured out how to actually write. And then it was Gary Halbert, obviously, because he's just the legend, and I kind of resonate with his tonality and his copy. I feel like that's more like how I like to write. But then I started writing a bunch of John Carlton ads because he has such a different style to me that I think it's really fascinating, and he'll use words like shocking and awe, and just some of the things are just more out there that I like that style, and I kind of wanted to develop some habits of that. And then another person who not many people know of, I guess, but he was a student of Gary Halbert's, is Craig Garber. And Craig Garber, to me, is the man. I've talked to him personally. I've paid for consultations with him. He's critiqued my copy before. He's probably the more recent, latest influence that I really started heavily paying attention to. So, but to be honest, right now, I just kind of, I don't have any major ones that I'm focused on, I guess. I still just kind of read all their shit and try to figure out who's new, because I've kind of been out of the game in regards to checking out the new copywriters that are out and stuff like that. So, the last 6 months I've been diving in and figuring out who all these people are. John Benson, started the VSO. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. And people are like, you don't know who John Benson is? I'm like, no, but I understand the VSO. That's cool. I mean, look, I'll write it for you. And then I look at his shit and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, yeah, he's the man, of course. So I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of guys out that are really good, that are like kind of the gurus of today that I wasn't aware of. And I just kind of been studying them because whatever they're doing is obviously working, so it's worth studying,
That's something, there is something to be said for not keeping up with who's doing what sometimes, because you come from purely, like heart-centered, what you put into it, the hustle, right? Because you develop your own sense of certain things. And I know when I studied like Colin Terrio, who's got like the Cult of Copy deal, and who I think is one of the more understated,
he's badass,
like mastery teachers of mastery, if you will. Definitely deep into whatever the hell he's talking about. He definitely has.
I'm actually in the middle of one of his Cult of Copy shows. I just stumbled across. I didn't even realize he had a Cult of Copy show, and I stumbled across like I think it was like the 11 or 13 emotional.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like he's got the Cult of Copy show, so it's perfect segue. He didn't study anybody else's YouTube stuff, something or other. That's how he developed his own show, because he doesn't that's partially what makes it so interesting. He doesn't do it like anybody else. He just kind of went with his gut feeling, and that's kind of where I was going with this. What I was talking about with you, alluding to, like sometimes doing your own thing makes you stumble upon something that when you read about it somewhere else, you're like, well, that's kind of like what I was doing, but I did it in my own, kind of shitty way with my own twist, Right. And there's power, immense power in that, in and of itself, I think.
Yeah.
So, if I may, with the last few minutes that we have here, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time, what's your, I guess we got your next goal covered, but what's, do you have any mantras that you live by, or favorite sayings or quotes that you, that you've made as part of your way of living or whatever?
It's funny. I'm going to sound like I'm ripping off Colin, because I just say fuck it. I just kind of look at it, and I'm like, I usually have based my decisions on that, because I've looked at my family, and they're very hard workers, but we have a different mentality, and I'm fortunate that I'm the youngest one out of 5 kids, and the closest one of my age is 11 years older than me, so I have relatives. I have one of my sisters is like 46 or 47, I don't know what, so they're all so much older than me that gave me an advantage. I got to see what I didn't want, they all went in different directions, and I was like, you know what, we all work hard, most of us at least, and fucking, but the vehicle is what's fucked up. The vehicle is what's broken, and from an early on, I just kind of started looking at everything they did, and I'm like, fuck it, I can always just go get a job. I'm a hard enough worker. I can go get a job. I can make $100,000 a year if I slave away, like, at a job. I can do it. It's not hard, So I'm just like, fuck it. but I like Carlson because I thought he had a course called "Fuck It, Do It Live" or "Fuck It."
Oh, it's an awesome course.
I haven't seen it or anything, but I'm like, I resonate with the title. I think that's badass.
It's awesome. The course itself is awesome. Just the paradigm shifting that goes on with that is pretty awesome. But all right, well, how do people? Two last questions. What's what's your belief in? I think I know what the answer is. And by the way, I share the same kind of outlook as you because I'm also the youngest of 5 kids. So I think learning from other people's sort of failures, if you will, right? If you have your eyes open, you can learn a great deal from other people. You don't have to repeat their mistakes, and I think that's what reading does for you too. That's why I always ask that question. As far as your belief in success, what is, in your guesstimation, the secret to success?
I think it's being appreciated. I haven't reached my full level what I want, but what I've accomplished has all been because I always show appreciation, and I'm a hard fucking worker, and I think everybody who's around me knows it, and that's always been in my favor. It's just always worked. I've always just been thankful, and if you're not thankful, it doesn't really matter how good you are. You're just going to lose connections, and there's no way a guy who's making 8 figures is going to fucking put me on because I'm a dickhead to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Be thankful and appreciate the fucking time, and just work hard, dude. Do what you say.
Also, yeah.
A lot of people just don't do that.
Okay, so how does somebody find out more about you and or look to you if they wanted to utilize you for service for copy?
Yeah, let's
find out more about you.
Well, if you could, everybody, please go like my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Carlos Redlich, Redlich. I'm trying to really build that up just to give a bunch of good value out, and I'm not going to ever pitch you on that page. That page is literally meant to build my name and to just give a lot of fucking good value so people hopefully get a lot out of it. And if you want to hire me for services, you can just go ahead and email me directly at carlos.redlich@gmail.com. So it's got a period in the middle, carlos.redlich@gmail.com. And that's it. Just put I want to hire you or some shit in the subject line so it doesn't go to spam. I don't know. I mean, just email me. I don't have a website yet because I've just been so focused on this other just grinding and getting the clients. And within 6 months, it's been working so well. And I'm just like, fuck it. I don't need a website. I kind of want this rebel thing of I'm going to be the only copywriter to make $1 million without a website. And I'm like, it's probably stupid. So I'll probably end up getting ClickFunnels or some shit within the next few weeks. But as of now, I don't have one. Just email me and please go like my page and share it and all that good stuff.
Right on. Go check him out, man. Carlos is definitely interesting and awesome. Definitely. By the way, I don't think you'd be the first one to make $1 million without a website. I think there are plenty of folks that like the course says, right? Fuck it, do it live. Just go out there. I didn't have a website when I first got started, and I still think it's a little. I think you could have one. You should use every tool in your tool belt, but I don't think it's necessarily a mandate that you have one to get, especially if you're just getting started. Just get out there and sell something. Get some money coming in first, and then you can, the rest will follow. Then build from there. It's all about. In my opinion, it's all about parlaying. And most of the people that I've come and interviewed on these series have all had some sort of hardship, and they just figured out a way to hustle to get. They made a mountain of their own molehill in their sort of epic. Their course through the hero's journey or whatever. They turn their little efforts into big sort of rewards and things that they can leverage. So that's sort of the crux of it. So you're right on with it. You're definitely on point with that. And I just want to thank you for doing this call. Yeah. I hope it was as fun for you as it was for me. It's actually.
Oh yeah, man! No, I appreciate talking to you. Dude. We've obviously been meant for the call. It's fucking Carlos Rosario. My mom's name is Rosario. It was meant to happen one way or another. And you got you're part of a 5 sibling family, so.
Right. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks so much for putting me on the call, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, and maybe we can do this again and check in on you in the not too distant future, and definitely hope you will continue to participate. And thank you so much for what you've given us, Carlos. Once again, it's facebook.com/ what was that?
Carlos Redlich, my name.
Got it.
Facebook.com/ Carlos Redlich, Redlich.
And if you guys want to join the Parlay Society, just go to just look up Parlay Society. And Carlos, thank you once again.
If you want to join, fucking Google me, bitches. Suck it in good.
It's the Parlay Society on Facebook. It's a group, and you definitely be amongst some interesting folk over there. So, Carlos, again, thank you so much for doing this call, and we will definitely be looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks so much, dude. I appreciate it.
Okay, hold on one second.